Hi, welcome to Man of Steel Fan Gives Hope. And I'm just sick of it. I am. I'm sick of the constant attacks DC is getting. I am sick of the attention, the attacks that Ben Affleck is getting. Now this video could run for 5 minutes. This video could run for 10 minutes. So for those that want the wee quick version, I'll just say this. Ben Affleck is not going anywhere. The Justice League films reshoots a load of piss when it comes to Joss Whedon doing the majority of the film. And it's all about because Comic Con is DC has a panel in just a few hours, and so what they're trying to do is get all the clickbait stuff and the fake news out and claim that they know more than what Warner Brothers is officially going to sort of release the next day, and they'll end up looking like idiots. And I have posted pictures of it, of most of the fake news that's been hitting the webs from so-called DC insiders and stuff, and they've all been proven wrong. How they've still got the job is anyone's guess. So there you go, that's the short version. So now you can stop mind and rest assured by checking on my Facebook page, Man of Steel Fan Gives Hope, for more stuff along the subject. But any of you guys that just feel angry and hurt and everything else, just carry on watching just now, because I'm like you. I'll just need to express these things. Now, one of the women that wrote an article about this so-called Ben Affleck getting replaced or leaving Warner Brothers is from a Kimmy Masters or something like that, her name is, and she's not been a fan of Ben Affleck from the start. She's brought up his past, brought up his weight, brought up his drink, just basically she's got her own beef about Ben Affleck. So in order to get one report, now you go on Facebook and this is what got me, it was everywhere, you know. I scrolled down, every page was talking about Ben Affleck, but it was the same news. It just came from one source, right? One person wrote the article, then everybody probably copied it, pasted it, and that was the news. Then of course, because these film sites then, because there's lots of them on Facebook, people like Collider jumps on the bandwagon, and other tubers will probably jump on the bandwagon like myself. The difference for me is I like to think I'm speaking the same words as you guys. Okay, I am not going to, these people proclaim to have some superior knowledge than you guys and girls do, because they have a YouTube page with studio lightings and desks and somehow a superior knowledge of what it does to make a film. And then you have these Facebook groups that is just a bunch of guys. Now you get requests for people wanting to, these groups wanting people to write for the page. They're not asking journalists, they're not asking people in the know, they just want people to write for their page so they can get some sort of click stuff. Okay, that's all that is. Now, how can I put it? Ben Affleck, Matt Reeves has just came out recently, and he's talked about the the trilogy of Batman films he wants to make. He's just talking about the trilogy. He's going to maybe start right now, but he's got a good idea of what he wants done. Now, before Matt Reeves came on, there was only just to talk about, as far as I was aware, of just the one Batman movie. So those people that really wanted the Batman Ben Affleck story with Deathstroke, yeah, I can see your point. I wanted it myself. Yeah, kind of too much. He had a lot of things going on with his family and everything else. You know, he's trying to get himself sorted out, put on the kill, do all this shape and the pressure. And for somebody that's suffering maybe mentally in some sort of state of form with his own family life, the pressure was too much because he just finished his film. So yeah, Matt Reeves came on and he's now thinking 3 films to tell his story and not just crushing it into the one. So it's a win-win situation. We get the Batman, right? And Matt Reeves has said, we like Ben Affleck as Batman. Of course, there is no way Warner Brothers was going to replace Ben Affleck. He was another character that outshone everybody, right? Because there was a lot of hatred, if you remember, for BVS, or why did you cast Ben Affleck? And then you had interviews with Ben Affleck after the film came out, saying he is one of the best Batman people. And of course, all these haters out there that went on and they don't want to show face and put their hand up and saying they were wrong. They're just carrying on the trend. They're tossing out the fake news about it because they believe if they keep on sending out trash that whatever they'll say will come true one day and they can go, I called it. No. Okay? And so, not only that, but it's I've said this before in my other videos, he's got a kid, you know, his kids love him as Batman. He loves himself being Batman with the Batcave and stuff. It was set to be an older Batman, you know. I don't know how many Batman comics I've read where he feels like he is in his 40s. To me, that is Batman in his 40s, not just a young guy in his 20s or sort of the man in his 30s, but 40s, he knows his stuff, you know. So that was a good approach for him. He can play Batman for so long, for another 10 years if they get it going with the Justice League. Now, Justice League movie, yes, it is important for Warner Brothers, right? They've slowed down the procedure of what they're wanting to do, but now we're getting news of Shazam movie. We're getting talks about Black Adam not being the villain in the Shazam movie, which might just be a good point. Build him up a wee bit slowly, like Darkseid. Maybe include Black Adam with Superman, because there's been all those posts with I forgot the actor's name. You know, The Rock. You know that and sitting beside Henry Cavill. And people speculate a Shazam versus Superman movie, you know, I don't see that happening, although it'd be good. What we really want Superman to go up against is somebody like Brainiac, I think, you know, because we can't have Superman and Shazam fighting, and then future down the line it's Shazam and Black Adam fighting. You know, it takes away the evilness or whatever, the grand fight between the two. But that's just my opinion. What else has come out? David Ayer has come out and why he's chosen to do the Gotham Sirens films instead of Suicide Squad 2. It's basically for his girls. He wanted the idea and the concept of these girls as, you know, I mean, everybody's jumping on the girl train, okay, but it talks about girls and this, but I think because he has family members that are females, he feels like he can go there and try and tell this using the characters that he helped create in the universe. So hats off to him. There's still talks about, you know, there's also the reason why Shazam's going forward now is because they found the director. There's still talks about the Flash director still being forefront for Robert Zemeckis and stuff. So it's still good, and I think when Justice League comes out, you know, they are going to push more and more films to us. But let's go back a wee bit to the Justice League. Now, it is apparent that who gets the credit role for to be the director of Justice League, that really falls into the Directors Guild thing, right? And they're the ones that take a look of how much work was done in the films that go, and they're the ones that come back and say, right, he's done the majority of this and that, he gets credited as director. But what for people are forgetting that Zack Snyder, Chris Terrio and stuff, they wrote this trilogy. They wrote, this sort of arc of a story that is helping arrange the DCEU. So when he helped write Wonder Woman, Zack Snyder, he then forwarded an idea of what they could do with Justice League. It was once time a 2-part movie, part 1 and part 2, because the story was big. Then they decided against that, and they made it, so they had to chop and change it and sort of make it a film, just a one-off. And so, of course, they had to do some reshoots, because they have to sort of edit the film that was originally going to be 2 into something that when you watch it, it's got a nice sort of ending to it, and it doesn't feel like there's something missing at the end. So they've got it all tie it up nicely. Now, but the story of the arc, whatever, it's there. The producer came out, or the head of DCU came out and said, yes, Joss Whedon, who was involved from the start with Zack Snyder helping him out and stuff, and you got to believe these studio people have kept this a secret of what happened to Zack Snyder's daughter. They kept it a secret, so they knew, and as I said, it was going to be postponed, but Zack Snyder says, no, listen, I don't want to think about it just now. My daughter is dead. Give me something that can take my mind off it, that can help me progress. And as it was going and going and going, and then you haters out there was making his life miserable, it just says, I can't, I'm thinking about it every day. I'm just going to have to step down. Joe, can you come over and finish? I've just got these reshoots to do, re things, and can you just help tie it together and make it? But it's just no bother, Zach. No bother at all, pal. You just go down it. Now, if he gets credited or doesn't get credited as Zack Snyder, and I made a video of why I felt that he shouldn't have stepped down, because I knew all this stuff that you're reading in the media just now would happen. People would jump on the bandwagon and claim it's a Joss Whedon film. If the film's a success, it's thanks to Joss Whedon. If it's a failure, it's because of Zack Snyder, sort of thing. But it's just unintellectual people that think along those lines. Those are the people that maybe have not suffered a loss in their life. I myself suffered my whole family's loss, and it stays with you forever, as some of you may know. And especially if it's that same year, you're not in the right place to carry on. Indiana Jones Temple of Doom was made when the 2 directors were going through a divorce. That's how it was so dark. Now we get the Justice League, which again, as I said, the film was sort of created with Zack Snyder, so he will be in the credits anyway. And the producer came out and said, this is still Zack's vision. Joss Whedon is only coming in, and he appreciates Zack's vision, and he will try and keep Zack's vision there in the film. So when you watch it, doesn't matter if this wee bit of scenery or this wee bit of was directed by Joss Whedon, I don't think it's still keeping to his tone and his vision. Now you can say whatever, these clickbait sites will come out and say, oh, it's all been redone, it's a whole new movie. No, it's coming out in November, people. It isn't a whole new movie. Now, Ben Affleck, as I said, he's already on for 3 films with the director. He's already on board with the Justice League and Justice League 2. Now, with all the press that DC and Warner Brothers has been getting, good, bad, whatever, they don't want to rock the boat by suddenly, taking bigger risks by getting rid of Ben Affleck, who's loved and adored by people, and it would make DCEU look bad by throwing and exchanging their characters about the actors about. So what can they do instead? Right? To keep Ben Affleck, well, we've got Batgirl. So Batgirl can come down. There's talk about a Nightwing TV series or a movie. So they can still keep going, and Ben Affleck can still do his sort of Iron Man sort of thing where he pops into these sort of films and make sure Batgirl's doing it okay, Nightwing's fine and stuff like that, and then still carrying on with his 3 films. It's like he popped in with Suicide Squad. I am just sickened that these people, these hateful people, are just getting away with this stuff. I mean, I know it's fake news about movies, and maybe it shouldn't be taken serious compared to the fake news about governments and missiles and wars and stuff like that, presidents and prime ministers and fake news. But then I think, no, this is something that thousands upon millions of people take to the hearts, take actors and stuff, directors to the hearts, and it means something to them. So for these douchebags out there that like to prey on these feelings by sending out this crap news, it's, you're scum, basically. And the fact that it's just moments away from Hall H, where we're going to get our answers. I do hope you'll probably watch this after Hall H. You'll probably find this video years down the line and so listen to this guy. But it's to get all this clickbait before Hall H comes out is just I don't know why they would do that. Why real journalists will watch what they say without the backup of proof or evidence, because if it was to appear in the newspapers one day about news, then the next day you find out that they've been talking bill, they would get sued. Maybe we should start suing these fake news websites. Maybe there's a way. Maybe you can make it happen and sue these for wrongfully publicising, news that can damage an actor's or director's or the film's credibility. Because when all this fake news comes about, people will read it and say, oh, this film's in trouble, I don't think I'll watch this. And then you'll get the other haters that they'll come on board and say, I get it, and that causes more angst between fans, and we can't just sit back, relax and look forward to a film anymore. We can't get hyped about a film anymore without opening our pages or our accounts and seeing this stuff. So my only advice to you guys and girls out there is find your stations, find your YouTube channels that are positive about the stuff that you like and you love. Don't click on to any websites that gives you this sort of stuff. Forget about the news. Wait until something like Comic Con or whatever happens. Get the news from the source. Or follow my page on my YouTube, where I guarantee, I'm hoping I'll be speaking just like yourself. So that's all I need to say about about the subject. So let's forget about Ben Affleck leaving. Not going to happen. Forget about the Justice League reshoots and everything else. Let's just look forward to the trailer. No, it's not. You know, and let's just look forward to November. And please don't click onto these sites. Don't give them the waste of your breath or your typing, your comments or whatnot. You know, just either unfollow. Just unfollow them, and see, the less people follow them. I mean, I still can't believe groups like Collider and stuff have still got a huge fan base after being proven to be biased and to be, you know, just, I mean, even John Campier, right? He's got a big, huge fan base. People still listen to him, you know, but he knows how to play the game. He knows how to sound level, okay, because he praises BVS, he praises Suicide Squad, but there's still nonsense that somehow gets out between them, and probably I'm speaking nonsense, but I'm just a fan that is just trying to let his ideas out, you know. So be positive out there. Follow my Man of Steel Fan Gives Hope Facebook page, please, and follow my YouTube channel. And Hall H, here we come.